How's it going, everybody? Seth here. We are back. You are watching Spotlight Omaha, and we are here with Dan from Sack of Lions. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's awesome to be here, guys.
Sack of Lions got a lot of stuff coming up. We've got singles up on Spotify now and all the other major platformers. You've also got a album coming up here at the end of May.
Yep, May 31st is the release of the new album, yeah.
And a new single, Given Another Taste, off of that album coming up May 1st.
Exactly, yep. Yeah, we're super excited. I mean, we worked about a year on it between tracking the drums and bass and then going in and doing everything else, and just actually got the masters back of the rest of the album last week. So it's been a long process.
So now you're at the point where everything's just kind of being taken in, like, oh, okay, this is happening now. Like,
yeah. So we had it was mixed down in Nashville at the Ruckus Room, and whenever I got back the mastered album, it was like 1,000-pound weight lifted off of my shoulders. Because it's just like, you put so much into it, and like from so long ago, I mean, from March of last year, you just want it to be done. But I mean, it's just such a long process. But I mean, you can't really rush it,
And of course, you're recording it down there, and so.
Well, no, we recorded everything here. So we recorded.
Okay. So sent the mix. You sent stems off down to Nashville.
Yeah. So we recorded with Jim Homan at ARC. We did all the drums and bass there, and then we did the guitars and vocals and keyboards and cello and all that stuff here with Jim Homan at Screen Door. And then we sent all the tracks to Nick Gibbons in Nashville, and then he would mix it and then send it back to me, and then we'd say what we want to change. And then it actually came down to the guy who mixed it or mastered it is Jamie Tate, and he's won a couple Grammys and Emmys and stuff, and he's mixed for like Brooks and Dunn and like huge names, Taylor Swift, which fits with us really well.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But he had his date, like his calendar was full. He could do it just last week in one morning session. So I was up with Nick on the phone until like 3 o'clock in the morning, getting all the final mixes done so he could master it the next day. So once I got all that back, I was like, thank God, I'm done.
So off the shoulders.
Yeah, let's start the next one, guys. Let's get back in this field. Yeah, exactly.
Now, and that's going to be a tough process, because not only are you're going through the mixing, the recording process, and I mean, obviously, if you're doing this locally, you get to be there during all that input moments while all the mixes are being made. Right. If you really want to sit down for that part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hover over the shoulder of them, but
absolutely,
you guys didn't get to do that.
No, and I kind of wanted to do it this way. The last album we did it all locally here, and we were there for all the mixing sessions, and it just. I think you get too attached to it, and I think that you just get like kind of burn out on it. So like whenever I'd send these tracks to Nick, it'd be like hearing a whole new song. And like he has a different ear than we have a different ear, and he does a lot of stuff for like big time artists. So I was like, just make it sound big and good. Is all I would say to him. And then we get it back and be like, oh wow, this is awesome, but we need bring up Phil's guitar a little bit, take out the bass a little bit, the vocals up a little bit, and he would make those changes on the spot and get it right back to us. So I think being a little bit away from the album like that kind of helped out, but I think it turned out I think it's the best stuff that we've ever done. So, and
you get the contrast of instead of being there during the mixing point, you're like, hey, I want to make that change, and then hearing it immediately after that change is being made. Like the line between the two actually gets a little blurred. Right. And so now you get to hear it with fresh ears almost every single time.
Absolutely. And like being there in the studio is like, especially if the whole band's there, because sometimes it could be like I want my guitar up, and then the drummer's like, I want my drums up. And then by the time you're done, everything is peaked because everybody wants to be the loudest in the band. Thankfully, we don't have any really egos in our band or anything like that, but it was just a fresh way to do it, and I loved it. I would do it the same way again if I had to.
Good deal. Now, you guys have been pretty well established in the local Omaha scene for quite a while. Like, how did you guys get the ball rolling once you finally came together? Like, what was kind of the first step after that?
So it was kind of like I used to play in like a punk band called Mr. Important for a long time, and we were terrible. We were just like guys that wanted to get together and get drunk, and we wrote like stupid punk songs, and we just like to get out and party and play shows. It was fun. We like to play music.
I think everybody's first punk band is
I think
terrible.
Everybody started in a punk band. Yeah, everybody I know.
I started in a punk band. I think the last several interviews that we had, especially metal bands, they almost always start as punk bands.
Absolutely. I think it's just because all you got to do is play 3 chords for every single song. Even though I still write 3-chord songs. But
Blink 182 chords.
Yeah, exactly. And I just kind of got a little bit older, and I wanted to write some more serious stuff. And I grew up on a farm, so I grew up with like, you know, country music that my dad listened to and stuff like that. So Dylan, who played with me in Mr. Important, so did Dave too, but we started writing these like more serious songs and like with more of a country feel. And we just wrote a couple and then like put them on YouTube and stuff, and people started to really like them. And then we made an album, and I just sent it to some places. We got to open up for like John Michael Montgomery and Tracy Lawrence, and like really started to get the ball rolling. And then we kind of really promoted it off of that into, you know, open up for national acts. And then it just kept going, and bigger shows and more fans. And I don't know, it's a really cool community around here that just embrace. Because at the time when we started doing like this stuff, I mean, there was like Brad Hoshaw and like, I mean, Justin, who had Midwest Dilemma. I mean, that was kind of like it wasn't really a ton of stuff that was like what we were doing. So that's why I was scared to play like in Benson, because I'm like, this is all like hard rock bands, metal bands. They're going to laugh us out of the waiting room. And then slowly over time, I mean, I really think that we put on a good live show, and I think that we write believable songs that anybody can connect to, even if you're straight into metal or straight into punk or whatever, that you can leave our show thinking that you believe us. We're not up there just making stuff up, you know?
Yeah. And I've seen you guys live, and I wouldn't even say that country alone is really a great genre because it is country, but there's a very strong classic rock influence.
Sure. Yeah.
Like it comes out in the sound pretty clearly that it's not newer country now, but but it feels fresh still. Yeah. And then that's kind of like, I mean, like some of our biggest influence, especially me, is, I mean, like my dad, I grew up listening to like CCR constantly. I mean, so kind of like that kind of feel to it, but. And you've got the ZZ Top look too.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I try. I'm just too lazy to shave.
That's my problem. I have to go and have people do it for me.
I do too. I go to this place.
That long.
I go to the Surly Chap. So shout out. I want a free beard next time for mentioning your stuff. Up in so no, I get my beard trimmed by a person, but because I'm too scared if I screw it up, I don't want to because I got a
you have
baby
nobody
face.
to blame at that point.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
It's an art. You don't want to let that
go. But yeah, so like I mean, like there's all things that kind of go into our music. I mean, like my biggest influence besides like CCR was Sam Cooke. Like I love like 60s soul music,
Nice.
Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett, like stuff like that, which is crazy because then like you got Phil, who's a guitar player, who loves like Van Halen, and Dave, our drummer, he's a huge Cinderella fan. So I mean, and then like Dylan,
all over the place.
Yeah, and then Dylan loves like Hank 3 and like Rammstein, and like it's like all these. It's a weird group of people, influences, but it comes out how it comes out, and it's been okay, I guess.
I think that's kind of the key for bands nowadays to find a unique sound, is to have people from different influences coming together with like maybe a similar genre in mind.
Sure.
But I mean, any band who has like a standard jam session trying to find that new song out there is like, all right, I'm gonna play this, and then you layer in on top of it.
Right.
Like come what feels
for
you. Like what do you feel? How's it gonna come out? And then having somebody who's just been listening to Rammstein after having somebody who's been playing some Sam Cooke, it's like, all right, let's see how those come together.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about this is that like I'll write these songs on my couch just with an acoustic guitar, and they're just like sad love songs, love and drinking. You know,
Is that what you're playing for us today?
Yeah,
sad
I will be
song?
playing a song with about 3 or 4 chords in it that's about drinking and losing a girl, which is almost all of our songs. But
perfect.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what good music's about. And what's crazy is I was doing this other interview, and they were like, who talking about like where the song ideas come from, and I'm like, I haven't been like in a relationship in years, so it's just kind of stuff that I just take from it's just like that you see or that you feel, and like everybody's lost somebody. I mean, even though I don't ever write a song about a single person, it's just about that feeling. But I think that all good music's about loving and losing and drinking to get over it.
I mean, if people weren't writing songs about life experiences and other stuff that people can become passionate about, I mean, we wouldn't have music where we're at. So I think that it's a very common trend, especially in the country genre, to see people knocking down what they're writing about. And I won't lie, I've done it myself.
Sure.
Like there are certainly some that do qualify for that criticism.
Right.
And I'm sure pretty much everybody and their mother can name a country song off the top of our head that is like, okay, enough about the horse and the beer and all that stuff. Like
Exactly.
like because they're really hammering it home. But I mean, you
Right.
got every other genre you can run into that too. I mean,
Right.
I mean, how many Guns N' Roses songs can you think about where
Yeah.
they didn't write those about just getting drunk and having a crazy good time? Like
Exactly.
every group has their stereotypes. So I don't think
Right.
fitting into those is really a bad thing.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, I think that when it comes to music for me, like the people that I love and that I listen to, almost all their music is about that, because I just feel it's a connection. I mean, you want to be able to feel something you felt. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll still listen to Tupac and Biggie albums all day long because I love that stuff, but I can't relate to Brenda's Got a Baby or anything like that. But I don't know, music's music, and it's an amazing thing. I love everything about it.
I mean, if you can lock into the emotion that person is trying to portray, you're going to enjoy yourself.
100%.
And if not, hopefully there's still a good beat that you can at least jam out to. So.
If you don't like the words, I mean, you can at least feel something musically, I guess.
I mean, I think that's so. It sounds like you guys are just kind of tapping into the core essence of a songwriter. It's like if you can sit down on the couch and bang out a song, it's like, this is how I feel, this is the sound that I want, layer everything on top of that. That's really what every musician out there is trying to do.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, and I guess what I just lost track of my thought, but it was like, so when I go to, like, I'll write these songs, and then starts out like as a basic acoustic song, but then like whatever Dylan with bass, and then Phil with his incredible guitar skills, and then Dave with his drums, it's amazing to see what these songs end up being, like big, like anthem type choruses and stuff that are all just from like a G, a C, and a D, like that on an acoustic. So that's what I love the most about this band is, like, I play with such talented dudes that can take a simple idea of 3 chords and turn it into something big.
Yeah. Now, so we're gonna have an album coming out, and then you've got some singles. You've got the release show on 5/31. You're gonna be playing that at Reverb with Pony Creek.
Yeah,
we've had them in. Yeah, we love those two.
Ryan's been one of my best friends since I can remember.
And he subbed in for you guys recently too.
Yeah, we just did this awesome benefit show for the flood relief out at this beautiful Starlight Event Center in Wahoo, Nebraska.
Nebraska Strong.
Yeah, Nebraska Strong. They raised like $63,000 that night, which is amazing. But yeah, it's kind of crazy about Ryan is, like, I played in Icarus, his old rock band, for like a month years ago. I mean, this is a long time ago. Then he moved to Colorado, and he came back right when Sack Alliance was taking off, and he was kind of over music, and I was like, man, this is the funnest I've ever had playing music. I mean, people are enjoying it. You can write honest stuff. And that kind of was what got Pony Creek started again. And I'd known Billy, too. Billy sang with me for a couple shows. And they ended up just being a perfect match. And I love their music. I played keys on their last 2 albums, so I would do anything to support those guys. And I wouldn't want to put this album out without having those guys on it. I mean, they're just some of my dearest friends.
How much of a collab did you get? Like, that actually brings me into my next question. Is like, because the country music scene around here is very tight-knit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think even Pony Creek, they had you guys on their album as well.
Yeah. And they had from Clarence Tilton. I mean, like, Clarence Tilton.
Yeah, Clarence Tilton was another one.
They're an incredible band. Yeah. I mean, playing with those guys, I mean, some of the funnest shows we did were just like, it was kind of like Pony Creek's release show, where it was Clarence Tilton, Pony Creek, and Sack Alliance. And it was just
a bunch of friends jamming out.
Yeah,
together,
and it's just like super good music. We all support the heck out of each other. But there's a lot of really good country music around here, which, like I said, 10 years ago, you couldn't find anybody that wasn't just playing covers. I mean, there's Buckaroos that are like, they're out of Nebraska. We just did that benefit show with them. We played with them a couple times. Just 3 dudes are super awesome guys, killer songwriters. There's Dylan Bloom, he's like a songwriter out of he's out of Utan or somewhere kind of out closer to Wahoo. Then you got the Bells. I mean, they were just on here. Yeah. I mean, it's and then Jimmy Weber, who's been around. I mean, he was been around for a long time. Incredible guitar player, songwriter. I mean, there's a lot of really good country acts around here that you haven't, that like I said, you wouldn't see 10 years ago. which is super cool to have. I mean, to be able to go out and see stuff like that.
Now, I think I got to come back to our question because we
sorry.
kind of got off track. It's like, I mean, how many other people did you have collaborating with you on this album? For Sack Alliance, it's
just us,
just you guys.
And then I had this Ross Brown is his name. He played fiddle on it, so we have a fiddle on it. And then Christy Johnson is another girl that she played cello on the song I'm going to play tonight. But other than that, I played the guitar and keys and fielded all the guitars, Dylan did the bass, Dave did the drums, and that was it. We just did it all ourselves.
Now, what would you say is the next step after this? Like, do you guys have a tour in mind? Do you have some other kind of outreach methods that you're going to be going for?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on. I play up in Okoboji quite a bit during the summertime. I'm going to one of the guys that I've become really close with is Jeremy McComb. He's he tours 250 days a year out of Nashville. I opened up for him years ago and became great friends. So I'm going to go out and do some shows with him. We'll be down in Nashville and North Carolina in 2 weeks. Then we're going to go do a run with Bart Crow out of Texas that we just played with. We're going to do a bunch of shows down in Oklahoma and Missouri and Kansas. And then September, I'm going to go play in Sweden, which is incredible.
Oh, geez. Huge jump.
Yeah.
Huge jump.
So it was like a bucket list thing. I always wanted to play in Europe. And then with Jeremy, we met some people that have a place over there, and we're playing at this. It's not like I Heart Music that we have here, but it's called the Heart Festival.
Okay.
It's like outside Stockholm, so we're going to play that, and then we're playing at the Hard Rock Cafe in Stockholm, which I'll be sure to get you guys some Hard Rock Cafe Stockholm T-shirts.
Nice.
Great souvenirs. And then we're doing a couple other like small like listening room shows over there, and then we always do this run at the end of the year, which is the stupidest time to do it, but we go tour. We go to tour like Wisconsin, Minnesota, like over New Year's Eve, which is
the Frosty show,
yeah,
the Frosty tour.
Yeah, it's your freeze your behind off tour every year. But yeah, and it's been really great. I've been playing a ton around the Midwest over the last couple of years, so we've got really good radio support out of Wisconsin and Missouri and just Minnesota. It's been, I mean, just keep on doing what we're doing right now, and it's just now we have an album to push, which, I mean, we're gonna make some videos and stuff, and it's just taking it for what it is. I mean, things have been better than I ever imagined over the last like year and a half, 2 years. So
awesome. Well, I want to get some music out of you, so
yeah.
we're gonna go ahead and jump over and get
Yeah,
that going.
absolutely.
I really appreciate you finally being able to come in.
Yeah, I know we've been talking about it for a long time.
Yeah, we connected months and months ago.
Months ago. Well, I appreciate it, man. You guys, this is awesome. I watch your guys' stuff online. I watch your other shows you got on. I mean, keep doing what you're doing, guys. I mean, it's awesome down here. So, and I greatly appreciate it. And again, May 31st, tickets are almost sold out too, by the way. May 31st at the Reverb. The last I heard, there was about 35 tickets left. So by the time this airs, you better get on it right away. We're playing with Pony Creek, our great friends. They're incredible. Pre-sale is May 1st. iTunes, whatever, Apple Music, all that stuff. It'll be everywhere. Sack of Lions, White Lightning.
Everywhere.
Check it out, or else.
And
Non-threatening. Sorry.
And jump on those tickets because
Yeah.
I've seen them sell out shows. It's quick.
Yeah. So it's
If you got 35 left and there's a month left to go, and
they're only $8.
Ticking.
$8, and maybe you'll see
$8.
these guys out there. We'll all have some drinks.
$8 release show. Singles are there's a single out now. There's gonna be another single maybe a couple days
May
after
1st.
after you've seen this here. So
Yep.
May 1st.
Yep.
Hopefully still fresh in your mind by the time that pops out of there.
And also, May 1st, we'll also have the pre-sale. We're getting our album pressed on white vinyl. So we're going to have 12-inch vinyl. It goes pre-sale May 1st as well. So May 1st, set your clocks or your reminders today.
May Day.
Yeah.
Jump on there.
It's a good day.
The May Day pre-sale. I like it. All right. Thanks a lot, Dan.
I appreciate it, man.
Let's play some music.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.